What if you were to spend the average rent or mortgage in the US or Australia here in Vietnam? Well, just next to me is Heron House, a 3-bedroom luxury villa tucked between white sand tropical beaches and Hoi An's ancient town. The price for a private infinity pool, French colonial architecture, and full-time service? Less than $2,300 a month. Today I'm touring Heron House to show you what $2,300 buys you in terms of lifestyle, an amount that would only get you an average property in Australia or the US. Today I'm going to show you the layout, the space, the office setup, and of course the inclusions for the $2,300 price tag. I'm also going to show you the trade-offs so you can decide for yourself if this lifestyle swap is worth it. Let's go check it out. As you walk in, on the front veranda, you'll notice plenty of outdoor seating. There is a reason for that, which I'll get into later. It is a very unique inclusion that you won't find in many other villas. As we enter the front door, you are right into an open plan kitchen and living space with high ceilings, which really adds to the breathability of the home, something which is essential in Vietnam because it does get really humid. Cozy living space on the right side of the entry. Master bedroom is on the ground floor, and there are 2 other massive bedrooms on the upper floor with a wraparound balcony and some pretty epic views, which I'll show you a little bit later. We have a downstairs powder room, which is probably the most normal bathroom of the entire house. You'll see what I mean when we get to the en-suites. Plenty of seating for hosting dinners, or if you decide to split the villa with a few friends and share the cost, definitely an option. A very cool feature of this kitchen is the island is shaped from a single piece of hardwood, which contrasts nicely with the brushed concrete of the countertops. Kitchen includes everything you would need: 3-burner gas stove, wine cooler, dishwasher, espresso maker, and all the utensils and pots and pans you need to feed a small army. One small downside is that the oven is quite small. Realistically though, you won't be cooking that often anyway, as restaurants and food delivery in Vietnam is very affordable and delicious. I'll share actual prices when I show you the neighborhood and local amenities. It's also worth mentioning that a lot of the booze you can see is included, and if that's not enough, there is a menu of drinks including top shelf wines you can order directly through the concierge service. The concierge is included in the price, and they will also help you arrange different activities. So if you or the kids are bored, you can take a ride around the rice paddies, or go water buffalo riding. The main selling point of this property is the lush outdoor garden and pool. At the time of making this video, it is a sweltering 36 degrees Celsius, so that pool is not only nice to have, it becomes essential for your very survival. An array of trees and tropical flowers create an atmosphere of tranquility. Being out here listening to the birds really does feel a world away from the hustle and bustle of Da Nang, which is only 25 kilometers away. You may have noticed that there is heaps of outdoor seating and day beds. I'll let the owner, Loic, explain why.
Everybody loves a good outdoor movie theater, and because we don't have much of a winter, we pretty much can do movies outdoors, complimentary for our guests whenever they like. And we just set up a giant screen between the 2 metal posts. And then if the guests want us to download a movie and set it up on our computer, we can. Otherwise, guests can hook up their own electronic devices to the projector and enjoy.
You might be able to hear that, but there's also speakers outside, so that if you're entertaining or you just want some surround sound throughout the entire property, every room is going to have a speaker, including the outdoor area. Around the side of the house, you have a barbecue/smoker, top secret room, and diesel generator. I know it's not pretty, but it is useful to know they are equipped with one of these because power outages are not uncommon here in Hoi An. Another thing that's not uncommon is floods. Last year, Hoi An faced the worst floods since 1964. When I asked Loic about whether Heron House was affected, he said this.
Yes, at Heron House, we got a little layer of water in the kitchen for 2 days. And so it took us about 2 days to clean it up, which was annoying, but pretty light by all standards. So we're on the higher ground of the rice fields. And then our property next door had nothing inside.
and this being a high-end luxury villa, Loic, the concierge, and cleaning staff are on hand to help out should anything go wrong. Seeing as we're outside already, let's explore the local area. Sandwiched between Old Town and Kuadai Beach, at Heron House you really do get the best of both worlds. This villa is set amongst rice paddies, which is great not only because it's stunning to look at, but also because it's government land, and therefore much harder to get permission to build on. Within a 2-kilometre radius there are gyms, co-working spaces, and activities like coconut boats, guided tours, and beautiful beaches, where you can rent a sunbed for $50,000 for one day, so that's like $2 for a day. Get a nice cold beer here as well, it's only going to be $1 or $2. So you can see it's very popular. I mean, at that price, $2, and you can spend your afternoon or your whole day here. Food is probably the main highlight for me here in Hoi An. Local restaurants are a little bit more expensive than Da Nang, but you can still get a good feed for $3 to $4 US. And there is, of course, plenty of options for grab delivery, also very reasonable. What about cafes? Finding good coffee is surprisingly difficult, especially when compared with Da Nang. Arabica and specialty options can be overpriced. There's also not a lot of choice, and it will be consistently inconsistent. You can have an amazing coffee one day, and the next day it will be burnt to shit. So just off the living room, we have the ground floor, and what I assumed is the master bedroom. To be honest, it's hard to tell because all the bedrooms are more or less the same size, bigger than most apartments in major Western cities. All the bedrooms feature a beautiful custom bathtub made from brushed concrete, which is a luxurious touch, especially when it's paired with this stunning view over the rice paddies. King-size beds with the all-important mosquito nets. We are in the tropics here, folks, so mozzies can be a real menace, especially during the wet season. Branding on point. All throughout the villa there are herons everywhere. Loic owns several properties in Hoi An, and after I did this tour, I did actually go and see Villa Iliu, which is next door. That will be next week's video, so make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss that one. It was pretty mind-blowing. It seems like every sitting area in this property has a window with a view. This is great for natural light and just gives Heron House a cozy, livable vibe. Antique dark wood furniture adds to the colonial aesthetic. This place has all the modern comforts you need, but it also feels old, because it is. Throughout Heron House, there are desks and places to get some work done. If you're in Vietnam working remotely or managing a business or portfolio from abroad, this is a calm, quiet place with incredible Wi-Fi speeds. The ensuite bathroom situation is a little bit unusual. All the rooms in this villa have identical bathrooms, so I'll save the surprise for when we check out upstairs. As you climb the stairs, you are immediately smacked in the face by an expansive view of the rice paddies. The balcony wraps around the entire property, which creates a thermal barrier. This is very useful for cooling during the dry season. I was surprised by how cool it was up here. Normally, second floors become a sauna in central Vietnam. On either side of the stairs, you have a massive bedroom, very similar layouts and furnishings to the bedroom downstairs. All have king-size beds and custom tubs, but up here you also have high ceilings with skylights, thick wooden beams and exposed tiles, which again really reminds you you're in a colonial build. My pick would definitely be this one because of the balcony with this ridiculous view of the rice paddies. Not a bad place to watch the sunset. Okay, so what's the deal with the bathrooms? Each ensuite has a separate shower and throne room, but they're open air at the top with door beads instead of actual doors. The toilet is slightly more private with this small wooden door, but you're still pretty exposed. If you are going to be sharing a bedroom, ensure it's with someone you are very close to, because after sharing this bathroom, you will know each other intimately. So what do you guys think of the ensuite situation? Would this bother you? Let me know in the comments. So now that you've seen the property, it's probably a good time to talk about the price. Now, you know that the price is 60 million dong per month. It's around 2,277 US dollars. But what does that include? In addition to, obviously, this beautiful 3-bedroom colonial property, you'll also get the water and electricity included, assuming that you're not blasting the ACs and leaving all the windows open, no taking the piss. The bikes, if you want to go for a little bit of a ride down to Hoi An Old Town or visit the beach. It includes cleaning every 2 days. That's a big one. A lot of people moving from the West, you don't want to be thinking about cleaning. You don't have to here. And lastly, and probably most importantly, it also includes a concierge service. So when you arrive in a new place like Vietnam, or if you're new to just Hoi An, knowing the best spots to eat, the best places to check out, the best beaches, this is crucial local knowledge that usually takes a very long time to acquire. Well, the concierge service allows you to shortcut that. That invaluable local knowledge makes this property well worth the price tag. If you guys are wanting to stay for a month or longer, I'll put Loic's contact details and the Heron House website in the description. If Heron House is a little bit outside of your price range, then watch my $600 Hoi An house tour next, or watch this 8 property tour that I did in Da Nang last month to get a feel for the city lifestyle.